Fucking Discord copy paste. And it's like a double whammy. Dota 2 client copy paste combined with Discord copy paste. I don't know, man. I asked Snow's got a line to those Discord kids, so I asked him to ask them what the fuck's happening, and he said that it's just working fine for him, so I don't know. Whatever. I don't like having to right click to copy something. Was this on your mini team?
No, it was just a stack game.
Yeah, Darva's banned.
Yeah.
So obviously the first thing that I'm going to have to say is, you know, don't pick anti-mage. But, you know, I'm sure Riles was probably Storm this game. I didn't really look, so I don't know. He can be a good pick, but he just gets dumpstered in lane so hard. And like the main thing about playing safe lane is you need to have at least one good matchup on the map. So that even if your lane is a bad matchup during the laning stage, like post laning stage, you need to be able to go like to the opposite lane and be able to just be there. And if you can't do that, then the hero is just not viable.
Okay, makes sense.
Like you don't necessarily even have to have a good matchup in lane, but you need to have a good matchup post laning. That's why like Spectre is a pick, partially, because if you can post laning stage when you're not getting pressured as much, you can go into the trees and then come back and you're pretty tanky.
Feeling good, man.
But AM can just get shut down in lane, and then it takes a lot of throws for him to come back from that, because usually the enemy core will have a good matchup against him, and the enemy offlaner will have a good matchup.
Feeling good, man.
This lane is going to be annoying for you. Let's speed it up a bit. If I see anything like distasteful from your laning in the safe lane, I'll say it, but I'm sure you lane fine.
Okay, I think for most of my mechanical skill for safe lane is okay, but sometimes I'm just lost and I like just run around mindlessly.
It's good that you're playing up against on them right now, because one thing you gotta realize about anti-mage in particular is, at least in the laning stage, his most powerful time is level 1 and 2, when the enemy is level 1 and 2 as well. Those additional levels don't change the lane for you in your favor at all, and they don't make you like strong to just be able to stay there and continue taking a beating. So playing up on them like this early on and leveraging your regen to try to get CS and denies is very, very important on anti-mage. Just because, you know, some heroes, the longer the lane goes on, they get more and more and more of an advantage. Doom's one of those. But some heroes, it's just not like that, like on anti-mage. So you gotta
Okay, yeah, that makes
play
sense.
as aggro as you possibly can and leverage all this regen. Like this isn't regen for you to just stay in lane. This is regen for you to leverage and get CS off of trading. Like, there's no amount of regen that'll allow you to stay in lane versus Doom as an anti-mage.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is where, since the Witch Doctor isn't under the tower range, instead of just trying to hit the creeps, you want to blink on top of them and trade with them as much as possible.
Okay.
And at this point, you're not going to die to a level 2 Witch Doctor Doom, so it's okay for you to do that. Like, it hasn't become unlaneable for you yet. But as soon as they hit level 3, that changes. Yeah, you really have to use your blink aggressively on anti-mage in lane. Yeah, see, they hit level 3, and then as soon as that happened, you just die. I mean, it wasn't a bad death. Like, they had to use a lot of resources, and now your supports are making them use some of those resources as well, so you're able to get last hits and denies now. Pretty much the way I see like safe lane and side lanes in general going is like kills don't matter, CS only matters. But sometimes you have to go for kills to deplete their resources, or sometimes you have to die to deplete their resources. It's not about like, going for kills or not, it's whether are you in a position to last and deny the creeps. If you're not, then you have to go for kills and try to deplete their resources. It doesn't even matter if you die doing it. But if you can't CS, then sitting back isn't going to help, because they're getting 5 times more experience if they're getting every deny. And as far as items go, I think this is okay. I don't know if I would have got the Ring of Regen over just more tangos though. Are you turning this into a
Okay.
like a Vlad's?
No. I just ended up selling it, and like after I got my bat off here, I just kept it for the region and lane.
Yeah, you just gotta get tangos instead of that. It's like tangos are way
Okay.
more value than a Ring of Regen if you're not going to build it into anything. So at this point, you're just went shrine, you're coming back. M-John's just doing M-John things.
I think this is when I was like basically where my question came up, because like I can't really walk up to get the creeps, and all 3 lanes are dangerous.
Yeah, I mean at this point, like as an anti-mage, you missed your window to get as much farm as possible out of the lane, which you have to do early on. So, like getting this Aquila, and it's pretty unfortunate that your courier went down, but getting those pieces of your Aquila, trading your regen, just getting as many of those stats like Aquila and treads as you possibly can, to when you finally do get a breather, be able to accelerate into a battle fury is very important. And that's just where AM being a bad pick comes in though. Like, you can't go to this lane because this silencer's already level 5. Can't go mid because it's a Shadow Fiend. So, like, you wouldn't want to go mid anyway, because you don't have, like, camps right next that you can also go to. So you just needed to leverage your regen in a more aggressive manner on anti-mage here.
Okay.
We're just going to ×4 and try to see what you do after the lane starts to break down and the game develops. I don't foresee Doom really leaving from this lane anytime soon. Doom's one of those heroes, you just stick him in a lane, he just stays there. Uh, This is a point where if I was like on a Bloodseeker or PL, I'd just be going down here and trying to get a kill, trying to get damage on the tower and farm these camps in the lane. And it looks like you're trying to do the same thing on Anti-Mage, but you're Anti-Mage. Ends up working out though, since you rotated your supports as well. It was good timing with the catapult. It could have been done a lot earlier though, if you were a hero like PL or Bloodseeker. Or something. Necro, you just sit here and survive. That's why Necro is like a good side laner, by the way, because he's like these offlane dual lanes are always going to be aggressive. They're always going to have harass. Just constantly healing up with Necro's good, and this is an AOE skill, so you can, if you can hit multiple enemies and heal your ally and heal your creeps, it's really good. And get last hits. It provides a lot of utility. That's why I SMH IRL every time I see fucking Necros going mid.
Okay. Like sustain heroes in general,
yeah,
again.
Yeah, I've been favoring like heroes that can either sustain really well, like Bloodseeker or Necro, or heroes that can just act like as a wall, like Bristleback. Or I haven't tried out Timbersaw yet, but I've been thinking about it, and I realized that we're in the same bracket, but I don't give a fuck. I'm just trying to help people. I think it's really nice if you can play a hero that can just stay here and doesn't care about these fucking cancerous lanes. Just for your team, so they don't have to focus on you as much. Plus, this tower is almost dead. Like, it wouldn't have taken that much damage if you were on one of those sustain heroes.
I remember this. It was unfortunate. Blinked into the Shadowblade DD SF.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. Like, it's good that you're trying to play on this area of the map, just because this tower is, not only is it low, but it's also very easy for them to get. This tower is a lot easier for Dire to fortify with heroes, because it's also close. 3 places to teleport. This one, it's just an island. There's many different directions you can go. This one, you know, it's got high ground. You have to walk up the high ground if you want to wrap on it. So, you know, sure, it's fine that they expended all their resources to get this tower, but they're not going to be able to control this area forever, because this tower is much harder to get than this one, even. What they should have been doing is controlling your whole jungle. So, since they're not doing that, you kind of have to read the game, like which objective are the enemy going to go for, or which one should they go for, but also make sure you're reading the game and looking at which one they're actually going to. So, this is where, like, I wouldn't want to be here, but if I see that they're really committing to down here, then I'm just going to be farming jungle and mid lane. And like this should be Utah probably, and Abaddon down here. Like it's normally I would say it's correct for Abaddon to go here and for you to go down here, but Radiant's playing in such a way that is to their detriment. Yeah, they kept going and they took a fight that's looks like, yeah, it's not going to be beneficial. It wasn't beneficial for them to keep going for this tower. See how even though you guys are behind, you were able to defend it?
Yeah.
That's why you don't take a fight there. That's why you go up here and take a fight. Alright, so now they're going to realize their mistake. So this is where you just, you know, you try to be in this area, farming as much as their jungle, pushing out this lane as safely, but also as fast as you can. And just be on this area of the map. Because if you ever go up here and they realize that they should get this tower and then they should get this one so they can get map control for Roche, like it doesn't actually matter if you die down here. If they, you know, don't just feed, but if they expend a lot of resources into trying to get you while you're finishing off this camp or something like that, and you're backing off, and they're just chasing you all the way down here, that's to their detriment, and that's you're making space for yourself later on when you're back up, as well as for the rest of your team, by going down here, because they, you know, they can kill you, but then, you know, they're killing an anti-mage who's been dumpstered already, and they can't go and continue on to this tower because it's way far away, and your team will be able to rotate in time to defend it.
Okay.
Alright, so this is where the Abaddon's in the right place, and the enemy are doing the right thing, and it's good that you're pushing mid here, putting pressure on an objective. After you get this tower, I'd expect you to go down here though, and then like rotate your way out through the jungle. I mean, not necessarily to that wave, but just their jungle in general. You don't have to be farming this passively. Like you can occupy this area. Yeah, I mean you gotta make sure that you're occupying the right area at the right time. Because you want this Abaddon to be in the path of them going here, or them trying to get more map control so that they can secure Roche. But the way that you were occupying the map was pushing your Abaddon to go here, like the opposite side of the map where he should be. So, and there was a long period of time where this area was unoccupied, so it's not like it was the wrong choice for him to do this. It was like a product of you taking safe farm, and like farming jungle like this passively isn't efficient because you're not applying pressure this way.
Okay. Is it worth it for me to like farm a more dangerous place and let Doom or SF kill me like twice or 3 times to like farm the harder places to farm, or is it better to like farm safer places and not
It's
die?
better to, if they kill you down here, you just gotta realize if they kill you down here, then they can't turn that into an objective. So you do need to avoid death as much as possible. But at the same time, if they're down here, it's a meaningless death, because then in order for them to get to an objective, they either have to bring their entire team down here and push and get all the way to this tower, by which time you'll already be respawned and your team will be there, or they need to go all the way across the map and join their team. So it's okay for you to die like that. Just if you foresee it coming, try to get to a safe place. But you definitely want to be in the position that this Abaddon is in right now, just pushing in the wave and then backing off to these camps. And don't, like, if you feel unsafe, don't necessarily go to the closest camp, because that's the one they'll check first. Just go to like the second closest camp, just to throw them off. But if you feel like, you know, they'll see through that ruse, then just skip the 2 closest camps and go to the 3rd closest one. You know, that kind of thing. So
Okay.
since Abaddon wasn't here earlier, and you weren't applying pressure here earlier, they were able to get this tower a lot quicker. I'm not saying you would have it would have been prevented getting this tower, but they would have had to be much more worried about their tier 3 down here taking damage, and you might have drawn them faster. And that's the point where you tell your team, and you have this Treant in position, they're going to back off, try to catch the ones who are straggling, you know, that type of thing. But you can see how you not occupying the right place at the right time sort of took away space, not only from you, but also from the rest of your team. Right?
Yeah.
This is good. This is a good play. Like, every creep wave you cut is, that's 30 seconds of time that you're buying, because it takes 30 seconds for the next wave to spawn. So if it's a
Okay.
lot safer to do it on the side lanes, but if they're way up here like that, you could have been already like over here cutting waves earlier. And that's something that I'm probably not as good at as I used to be, because anti-mage has been so out of favor. But that's, on mobile heroes like this, cutting creep waves is so important. So at this point you've got your core items, but the timing is, you know, it's like 8 minutes longer than what you would want. And it would have been mitigated a little bit more if you were sort of occupying this lane a little bit more after the laning stage broke down. K-Stigs is playing pretty greedy this game. So I think in this game I would have. I may have gone for. I don't even know. Like. I think the Lincolns it's okay, but it doesn't feel that great when there's like silencer and Doom's probably going to get Doom off anyway. So I feel like you guys don't have like the best stuns in the world. I think this game I probably would have gone for BKB and then the Lincoln. Just so as soon as Tree goes in and uses Overgrowth, I'm right on top of somebody blowing them up with my BKB with no counterplay. Something like that. I just don't know. Like, you need to be able to fight in a game like this, and just in general in Dota right now. The Lincoln by itself isn't going to provide that. And I've found that, and I've heard from other people that when they have BKB piercing, single target stuff, and you get a Lincoln's, like, you want to have the BKB first, so they're not able to pop it with a lesser spell, and give yourself a window where they can't pop it.
Okay. I think I went for the Lincolns, first of all, obviously because they have a Doom, and I saw the Silencer was getting a Hex, but also because the SF at this point had a Bloodthorn, and I figured if they like global, I need to Manta, and then if he could react to it and Bloodthorn me, then the SF could just basically solo kill me around the map every time global was
Yeah,
up.
it's just, I don't know, it just feels like this Lincoln isn't enough right now. Like the BKB into the Lincoln, but like the BKB isn't going to help you split push because you'll just get doomed. But a team like this, they're not garbage. They're not absolute garbage players, so they're going to be able to coordinate like popping your Lincoln. So I don't think it necessarily really helps you split push or fight just the BKB or just the Lincoln, but I think both of them combined really helps. And I think I don't know, it's just a hard AM game really. I guess you just have to go for the split push in a game like this and just not try to fight. I don't know, if you get anything out of this coaching session though, just get out that you need to know like if you're the hero that wants to stand in the way of the enemy's objectives, or if you're the one who wants to apply pressure, and that's it's pretty clear which is which with Abaddon and Anti-Mage. So just make sure that you guys are both doing the right thing.
Yeah, okay. Makes sense.
All right.
Sorry if I was quiet. I had to try to like process some of the things you were saying because I think a lot what makes me like, or a lot of how I've improved in Dota is just in like mechanical shit and like laning. So actually thinking about movements and like item builds and whatnot takes me
It's
a second.
okay. I mean, that's like if you want to be a good Dota player, then you know it's much if you can get your mechanics to a good level, like a good 6K level, then if you want to get to 7k, 8k, then you know, that's just like movements and itemization and you know, just be in the right place at the right time and shit like that. And that's really difficult. So they're both really difficult. I mean, my mechanics are fucking garbage, but I guess the reason why I'm second pick and not third pick is just because I play safe lane. I don't know.
Okay.